Yes, we are back. Back again in Train Sim World 6, back again on the Great Western Express Remastered, continuing our adventure from the previous video slash stream, where I spent a period of time trying to get from Hayes and Harlington to Paddington or Reading as a passenger, only travelling one stop, getting off, and then getting on the next train.
Wait, what? How many? I've still not found this cancel button. It's costing a fortune.
Thank you, Kerry, for interrupting me. 72 months, thank you indeed. Yes, last time, thank you, Kerry. Last time was a passenger, went one stop, got off, got on the next train. We ended up in the rain here at Taplow, where I came in on, I came in on this service. This time, going to change things. Going to still do the one stop thing, but I'm going to be driving the trains this time, and we'll see if we can get to Reading and Paddington. For those watching on YouTube, there'll be links in the doobly-doo below to where you can get the route. One down there to the Twitch page, where you can watch this sort of madness live on Twitch, and one down there to the Discord server as well. Hopefully we can get them both done tonight, because if not, there's going to be a third stream, because I'm determined to do this. Good evening then to Trent, to Sim, to Tiger, to Jammers, to Craig, to Nico, to Kerry, and to McBone.
Hello all. At that time Steve may run red light.
Indeed, thank you, McBone. Yes, we've reset the stopping stations, so we start again now because we're driving, not a passenger. Right, let's get on board. If I can find the door. Okay. Right, let's close this door because we're currently late. We'll lock the doors. So we're only going one stop. Hi, Grandmoff. You need help, or you do. So the next stop is Maidenhead, which is only 1.8 miles away. And then we'll get on the next train, but we'll drive it. Well, I just think we're a driver now, we're not a passenger.
The next station is Maidenhead. This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading.
So otherwise it'd just be long runs, and we'd end up, it'd be too easy, wouldn't it, if we carried on. So now we're doing it as a driver. Help with what? You need help with something. Because Sim's on a 175 stream streak, but Trent's on a 205 stream streak. So I don't know who's more of an idiot. It's a fine line. I'm not going to turn the safety systems on. It's a mile. Right. I've got to get back into the whole mode of driving things again. How am I today? Good. Work was mad. God knows what's going to happen when I take a week off. Oh, yes. So there's a battle between the two of them. Yeah, that got blocked somehow, Connor. Aircon was on in the office all day today. It was lovely. It was about 18 degrees, 19 degrees. Less than that, I think. 18. Right, so Maidenhead. So the plan is to try and get to Reading and Paddington. But only doing one stop unless we've already been to that stop today. So it resets now as we're driving. So if we've got a train going back towards Taplow, we can't get off at Taplow. We've got to carry on one stop.
We are now approaching Maidenhead.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
That's brakes. That's a lot of brakes. £10? £10? Oh, £6.50. Okay. Well, we ended last night with rain. Right. Into Maidenhead we come. So what we'll do with each one is obviously we'll get out the train. I will relinquish the service That's definitely a bit rainy now.
This is Maidenhead. Do not try to board or leave the train when the doors are closing. This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading. The next station is Twyford.
Okay, so we relinquish the service. So AI takes over that service now. And now we need to go and look and see what the next train is. That's the 1740 to London Paddington. That's a bit of a wait. We can't go to that platform. That's useful. Let's go up here then. The 1104 to Paddington. Calling at Taplow. Burnham. That's fine then. So we can take the 1104 as far as Burnham because we've done Taplow. So this is going to be another 166 again, isn't it? I'm really hopeful at some point this evening we're going to end up not in a 166. Let's just double check the other platforms. 1138 to Marlow. Yeah, no, it's fine. Another 166 stream. I like a 166, but it'd be nice to get on a Heathrow Connect or something when we get down below Hayes and Arlington. We'll see. We'll stand and watch the rain for a couple of minutes. Yeah, I like this. I wouldn't mind doing something. Words. I wouldn't mind doing something like this when we get the Lichfield Trent Valley and all that lot. So doing the one-stop thing up and down the Lichfield Trent Valley, I think it'd be quite interesting. You do need help.
This is a safety announcement.
Is it?
Due to today's wet weather, please take extra care whilst on the station. Surfaces may be slippery. The next train to arrive at platform 4 will be the 1104 Great Western Railway service to London Paddington, calling at Maidenhead, Taplow, Burnham, Slough, West Drayton, Hayes and Harlington, Ealing Broadway, and London Paddington.
Right.
Platform 4 for the 1104.
That's definitely a bit like it is out there now. Well, it was thundery. Yeah, Heathrow Connect is eclectic, as Connor's put it. It's an eclectic train. Timmy. Yeah, so we can't go to Taplow, so we've got to go to the one after Taplow. Then get on the next train, which are coming. So we get, in a way, we're getting closer to Reading. Because we are here at Maidenhead. And we want to be getting, like, here. So we're not far. There's Reading. Are we the closest we've been? Is there not another stop between us and... oh no, you got Twyford. Yeah, so you got Twyford. So this is the closest we've been to Reading. So what we want to do is go down 2 stops. In theory, come back up. Means we can't stop at Twyford or here, wherever here is. Where is here? Maidenhead. So then we should get to the one the other side then. Taplow. When's our train coming? 1104.
This is a safety announcement. Due to today's wet weather, please take extra
Hi, Stokey.
care whilst on the station. Surfaces may be slippery.
Surfaces may be slippery. As HST coming through. I've noticed that the last few times, right? The audio's wrong. When that train comes past, it was on the right, but it's on the left. I don't think that's my audio. I think that's the train, because the normal train audio sounds fine. Anyway, it's just me. There you go. See that? That was on the right. And now goes to the left. When it approaches, it's on the wrong side. Anyway, our train should be here any minute now, because it's due to leave at 11:04. So we'll drive this 2 stops down. You guys really need to keep track tonight of which stops I've stopped at, because it confused me enough last night. So if we don't do this tonight, I'm going to carry on tomorrow.
The next train to
I've
arrive
got
at
to get, we got to do it.
will be the 11:04 Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
My video is good today. The first of 3 videos this week from the Frankfurt S-Bahn. No, you've lost that, Jammers. Right. 2 all week until you're in Paddington. I want to get to Reading and Paddington. Right.
Platform 4 for the 11:04 Great Western Railway service to London Paddington, calling at Tatlow, Burnham.
Tatlow.
Right, you out. Right, reverser into forwards, wiper. I had a button map for wipers. It doesn't seem to be working. Okay. That's climate control. Number 1 fan, wipers. 25%. Oh, because that's an amount. Wait until 11:04. Okay. Right, so we're not stopping at we are stopping at Taplow. Well, maybe we'll stop at Taplow. We'll try and stop at Taplow and let passengers off. I will leave the service at Burnham. Who's my number 1 fan? Don't have one anymore. I'm blue dabba dee dabba doo. Yeah, hopefully we don't spend the whole of this evening driving 166s, because last night was passengers on 166s. Okay, right, 1.8 miles back to Taplow, which is handy really, because there's 1.8 miles to here.
The next station is Tatlow. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Right. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington. Whether it'll actually get to London Paddington, I wouldn't have thought it would have been this difficult. I was genuinely surprised yesterday that we didn't get to one of them. I also don't want the thumbnail for this one just to be another 166. That's definitely looking a bit rough out there. I'll put that on. There we go. Take a picture of a HST. No, I can't have something I haven't driven be the thumbnail. Have you not watched every single video I've done in the last 10 years? If not, why not? Not all of them, though. We'll get on with it. Being overtaken by a 166. I don't do clickbaity thumbnails because that involves effort. Can we ban him until he has? Sounds like, yeah, but you'd have to ban you, Trent, as well. And probably everybody else watching. What was dinner? Nico's favourite. Yeah, chicken and bacon pasta. Oh, it's going to be interesting now.
Tatlow.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when
No,
stepping down.
shorts and t-shirt on. I had shorts on all day. Right, we're now arriving at Taplow. It's definitely a bit moist out there. Or the chicken in the cupboard? No, it came from the fridge. There's a chicken in my cupboard. There'd be feathers everywhere. I only left the office once today from when I went in at like 7:20 this morning. I only went outside once. I was like, blimey, it's hot out here. $170 too many. I think you're all mad. I think anybody who watches more than one has got something wrong with them. No, paint's still behind my desk.
For the 11:08 Great Western
That was
Railway
Nico.
service to London Paddington, calling at Burnham, Slough, West Drayton, Hayes and Marlington, Ealing Broadway, and London Paddington.
Right, so this is where we started and where we ended last time. I almost thought about doing something really clever and joining these two streams together, which would involve some editing and putting it out as one continuous journey. But that would be a nightmare then if it ends up being 3 streams. Because if we don't get to Reading and Paddington today, then it's going to be tomorrow. Right, so Burnham's next. So we get off at Burnham. So hopefully you're writing this down. We've done Taplow and Maidenhead and Burnham. So we can't come back to these.
The next station is Burnham. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Tableau, Mayhead, Burr. Okay. Yeah, it's not that simple, Connor. You've written it down. No, you did. That was almost like when you tried to plan our route around Brussels, Trent. I remember it, and not after the day I've had. I'm not going to put it on my Amazon list. You've been at work longer. You just drive. My job is mentally straining. A bit like spending time with you, Tiger. As you all the time. You are mentally straining as well. I can see why Nico abandoned us in Brussels. I kin whoop. Oh, do you? You want to be careful about that, Trent. Is it a forward kin whoop or a backwards kin whoop? Or do you do a sideways kin whoop with a flick? Right. Burnham.
We are now approaching Burnham.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when
You wish, Tiger.
train.
Yeah, bracket. Okay, so we've got to get off here, and then we get on the next train that comes through, which hopefully is something going westbound towards Reading. Why the bracket? Because it's near the return. Enter. See, I'm not as stupid as you look, Tiger.
Burnham. Do not try to board or leave the train when the doors are closing.
Haven't you been here before?
Great Western
Yes.
Railway service to
But we've
London
reset
Paddington.
the list.
Next station is Slough.
Ealing Broadway and London Paddington.
Okay. Right. Relinquish that service. Okay. We want one going the other way. The 11:18 going to Reading. Taplow, Maidenhead, Twyford. Okay, 11:18 goes to Twyford. We're getting closer. Hi, Barry. You say closer. Look, that'd be one station from Reading. Okay, then we got to come back past Burnham. And then hopefully we can get the next train back up again to Reading. Then we got to try and... Oh, that's going to be difficult. Then what do we do? I suppose we have to get the next one south, which will be back past here. But then we'll have to go... Huh. Okay, what happens there then? What if we're... Okay. So what if we're at a station... I knew what I meant. Shut up. What if we're at a station further east than here, and we've done all the ones, including Reading, to the west? So we can't go back to a station we've been to.
Please be aware
Do we have to go back to Reading?
Operate at this station and across the railway network. Do not
Because we
become a
can't
victim of crime.
go any further than Reading.
Please also note that in the interests of safety,
We'll worry about that when we get there.
skateboarding and rollerblading are not permitted anywhere on the station.
Yeah, because we've done Taplow. We've done Maidenhead. We've done Burnham. So what if once we've done Twyford and Reading, the next train has got to come back past here, but then we can't get one going towards Reading again because we've been to all the stations. Then what do we do? Do we have to wait till another one going the other direction? I reckon that might be the case. It's going to be busier. Once we get beyond Hayes and Harlington, we'll have more choice. We'll see what happens. I said get on and go to the end of the line. That'll be Reading.
The next train to arrive at platform 1 will be the 11:18.
Right train. Why is there a downstairs tunnel to this? It's definitely busier, isn't it? Well, because you can't go across the tracks, can you? So you go down and out. A bit like Swindon Station, you come up from the bottom. So you go down and out that way, I'm guessing, and then you go down and out that way. Alright, we are waiting for our train.
Please be aware that some platforms
Formed of 6 coaches.
have no or only partial tactile paving on the platform edge. Once the train arrives,
Can we see?
please mind the step from the platform
No.
onto the
Because I can't... I suppose it's only the exit, isn't it? So yeah, it won't let me. So we've got to take this as far as Twyford. No, a Van Hool, Trent. It is well done. I remember when they first had the umbrellas thing in. That was in London Commuter, wasn't it? The umbrellas first came in. It was like, oh my god, they got our umbrellas up. I actually remember that. I think it was on a stream. Van Hool. Coach. I think they made the bodies. We are waiting for a train and I don't know what way it's going to come. Now, which way did we come in? We came in that way, so it's going to come in this way. This is where, if it, like, I'm going to start, I reckon it's going to come in towards me. Who's got money in coming in behind me? If I do that a lot, Connor. I don't see a train. Right, any guesses as to what sort of train it's going to be? What do you reckon?
Please be aware
A train.
that opportunist thieves operate at this time across the railway network. Do not become a victim of
£590 on a 166.
In the interests of safety, cycling, skateboarding, and rollerblading are not permitted anywhere on the station.
I've just seen someone comment on my YouTube video. Over 10 years, and you still can't pick the right bus. Yeah, sounds about right. And damn it, Connor was right. 166. What's he won? A date with you. No, it's not. It's 165. No, in that case, pay up, Connor. Connor's just lost 590 quid. Right. There we go. Okay. Wipers are put on 50%. Right, so we are on this all the way to Twyford. Alright, lock doors. And then hopefully we'll be able to get something south beyond here. And then north again to Reading. What's he like? Who? Tiger? An idiot. Is Tiger someone you want to go on a date with?
The next station is Tatler. This is a Great Western Railway service to...
Anyway. South or north. Look, shut up. At least you're clever. Really? Hi, Daniel. See, the difficulty here is now, each one of these we're doing, because we're bouncing backwards and forwards, there's a reason I ain't been on a date. Now, it's nothing to do with being clever. The difficulty going backwards and forwards is each leg is going to get longer. Trent is funny. When he gets to know you, he's funny. So this shouldn't take too long, but then we got to turn around and come back past where we've just been, then turn around and come all the way back to Reading, then come back again to where past we've just been, then get off. Then decide then, do we go back to Reading or do we then just try and hop our way down to Paddington? Hi, Round Night. I'm really liking this route now. It's got so much better since the update. Obviously, when we get below Hayes and Harlington, we will have more stuff. We'll have the Heathrow Connect services in.
We are now approaching Tatler.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform and take care when
So hopefully then we'll be able to drive something different. You like a brick wall? Okay, Trent, each to their own. People have been in relationships with pavements and things, so you go for it. Right, so this is where we started half an hour ago. A date with you is like a brick wall. How would you know? No one's been on a date with you. Well, I think they have, but
railway service to Reading. Calling at
you had a date in Swanage.
Reading.
This is a security announcement, reminding passengers to keep a watchful eye on their
Look,
luggage
camera collisions. Stop doing that.
at all times. Unattended luggage can cause unnecessary security alerts.
Yeah, exactly. That's how good a date you were, Trent. See, you're also in a relationship with someone that preferred trains over you. Right, locking doors. Right, Maidenhead is next. It's definitely a bit rainy. Right. Oh, I nearly posted it in Discord at lunchtime.
The next station is
I watched a YouTube video.
Great Western Railway service
Hang on.
to Reading.
It was just over an hour as well. I didn't care. The American chat show host Stephen Colbert has just had his show taken off after 11 years. Did a spoof chat. Well, he didn't. He went 11 years ago. He went on a local cable TV show, which had an audience of like 12 people, and he did a guest host spot 12 years ago. He went back after his late night show finished and did a guest spot again, and it was absolutely hilarious. He had the two co-hosts on there that are the normal hosts of this show. At one point they were drinking shots, then they were sucking helium balloons, and one of them was talking about her cancer whilst the high-pitched voices from helium, which was hilarious. Then Jeff Daniels came on, and they made peanut butter and crisp sandwiches with Jeff Daniels. Oh, it was hilarious. It was, it was like, it was a really bad local cable TV show that he's such a professional chat show host that he made it so easy to make it like be really cheesy. I want to watch it again. It was so good. I was actually sat there like laughing out loud. Thankfully the people that were sitting around me, none of them were in today. Right, anyway. It was so bad, it was good, yeah. And the fact that then at the end they did adverts for things coming up in the local community. Monroe, Michigan was the area. So then him and Jeff Daniels were doing adverts for things coming up, including a death cafe, where if you've lost someone recently, you can go to this cafe once a week and talk about your experience. They just made even the local adverts sound really good. Oh, it's so good. They ended up, they did the sucking of the helium balloons, then run out of the helium in the balloons, so he was just sucking straight from the helium canister. Right, we're at Maidenhead. So one more stop. And then we got to get out. And then we got to go east again. Back down beyond where we've been.
Do not try to board.
Great Western Railway service
So if you just joined, the plan is
Reading.
we're only going
Station is Twyford.
one stop and then getting off and changing trains. Unless we've already been to that stop tonight. Well, we've already been here. And the aim of tonight is the same as it was last night, where we did the same thing but as a passenger, is to get to Reading and Paddington. Last night started in Hayes and Harlington. After 2.5 hours, didn't make it. Ended up at Taplow. So now Twyford is the closest we've got to Reading. If I remember after the stream, I'll link the bit in the video where they started on the helium.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading.
The woman that was this co-host was ex-Miss America, like 1988 as well. Anyway. Right, so 6 miles to Twyford. Yeah, thanks, Trent. No, Connor, you don't get the concept, do you, Connor? I only go one stop. That was the whole remit of last night. We go one stop, we get off. Unless we've been to that stop already, then we go to the first stop that we haven't been to. We haven't been to Twyford, so we drive to Twyford, we get off. Then we got to get on the next train that comes into Twyford that could either be going to Reading, or if it's going the other way, we then got to stay on it until we get to a stop we haven't been to. Then we get off, then we get on the next train. So we got to go back past where we've been after Twyford to then turn around and come all the way back to Reading. The difficulty is every time this section's taking longer to do. And considering it's like a 50-minute run from, well, unless you're in a HST, from Reading to Paddington, it's going to be tight as to whether we can get them both done. It's fine, Connor, but yeah, that's the rules. Apart from last night where I missed a train, that's the rules I gave myself. So we continue all the way down here. So this is just one stop from Reading. At least we get to do a bit of speed, but say we've then got to come back this other way. I really hope we can drive something other than a 165/166 tonight. Tomorrow, by the way, well, if we don't get to Reading and Paddington tonight, there's more of this tomorrow. I'm determined to bloody finish it. If not, if we do, then tomorrow could be some Subway Sim 2. However, that might change. Thursday night, though, some Rest Area Simulator. Friday night, we got some ETS2 in Volvo trucks and chemical tankers. Saturday night is bingo, where you can join in. And then Sunday lunchtime, back on the farm doing the farming type thing. Where people have been really productive on the farm the last few days, which is good to see. So at some point in the next 3 months, we should be getting the Thames Valley branches route or routes that come off this. I don't know yet how they're going to be implemented. Whether you'll only get them if you've got Great Western Express, and then there'll just be extra timetabled services on the Great Western Express, or whether it'll be separate routes that you have to route hop to and from Great Western Express. I hope that's not the case. I think that would ruin the immersion. If you had to get to Slough and then route hop to do the Windsor. I don't know, I can't remember where the other ones are from. There's 3 of them, I think. Like that. 86 miles an hour. Don't think this will quite get to line speed before we got to slow down. Slow down. Then I've got to try and stop it. Alright. What's the max speed? 90. Which is what we're doing. But this might take a while to stop in the rain. Alright, slowly in. Alright, I hope we haven't got to wait too long then.
We are now approaching Twyford.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
So we want something going back towards Paddington. I don't think there'll be anything else behind us going to Reading. Depends on the frequency of the train stopping at Twyford. Okay, so what platform? So platform the other side then. So up and over the bridge. And see what we get going back the other way. We know it'll be another 165, 166.
This is Twyford. Do not try to board or leave the train when the doors are closing. This is a Great Western Railway service to Reading. The next station is Reading.
Right. So, relinquish the service.
This is a safety alert.
Over the bridge.
Due to today's wet weather, please take extra care whilst on the station. Surfaces may be slippery.
So 11:39. Calling at Maidenhead, Slough. Right, so that's going to be, because we've just done Maidenhead, so that means we take that all the way to Slough. I don't think there'll be anything else. Let's go and check the other platform though, as we got a few minutes. I don't think there'll be anything else that close behind the one we just came in on. 11:44, and there's people over there. So is that local services then? Platform 1. The 17:31 to Westbury. You've got a long wait for that train. I'd sit down if I was you. I wouldn't stand there.
Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Okay, so platform 4 for the 11:39, which will take to Slough, and then we'll go from Slough. Hopefully, we can then get something back to Reading. Or what if the HSTs stop at Slough? What if we finally got a chance of getting in something that isn't a 166?
Please be aware that some platforms at this station have no or only partial tactile paving on the platform edge. Once the train arrives, please mind the step from the platform onto the train.
Indeed. Oh yeah, no, well, you wouldn't wait on the platform, would you? You'd go through the barrier, wouldn't you? If you're being picked up, you go and wait at the picky-uppy place. That's what it's called. Alright, so all the way down to Slough, then all the way back to Reading. So we could be at Reading, I reckon, depending on the frequency of the trains, 7:15, something like that, which gives us just over an hour to get to Paddington. It's doable. Yeah, I thought I was coming in a bit quick to stop. So that's not going to be stopping, is it? That train was not a 166, no. A 6-6, not a 166. Owl should be coming in any time now. We go all the way to Slough. I hope it stops raining. What about Noppal?
For your
What about
safety,
Noppal?
Please be aware that some platforms at this station have no or only partial tactile paving on the platform edge. Once the train arrives, please mind the step from the platform onto the train.
No, it's just because of where we are, Connor. Don't forget, we're on the stopping services. So they are, they were 166s in 2017 when this is set. A lot of them still are.
The next train to arrive at platform 4 will be the 11:39 Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
If we get below Hayes and Harlington, you'll see Heathrow connects. You'll see 350s. When's the train? 11:39. Are we nearly there yet? Nope. Here comes the train. Oh, look! See, that's what we want. HST. They only got the wipers on. I'm supposed to be seeing where they're going. Right, you. I'll just walk through you. Out. Shut that door. Okay. Reverser into forward. Wipers. 50%. Waiting to 11:39. Yeah, so we got to go Maidenhead, Slough. So 2 stops. We've already done Maidenhead. So it's straight to Slough, and then hopefully we can get something going west again and get to Reading. That's 50% of the challenge done. Can we do it? Alright, 6.7 miles then to Maidenhead. No, you don't reckon we will? You don't reckon by the end of tonight we'll get to Reading and Paddington? We did it on the others, didn't we? We did Victoria and
The next station
Brighton on the first one.
This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
And did we do Euston Problem and Milton Keynes on the other one? I can't remember if we did. I like the frequency of trains on this. I thought this was going to be an issue. I thought we'd be waiting ages for trains, but they are frequent because they're bouncing up and down, as it were. Thought I was keeping track. Oh, no. You're an issue. You are an issue. I want to track towards a mental breakdown. I'm not supposed to agree. No, I'm not. But I just thought I would. Why go through life humouring people? Tell it like it is. Hit it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Hit it like it's pat. I thought it was drop it like it's hard. I thought it was drop it like it's hot. Is drop it like it's hard? I don't know. Like it's hot. Hang on, could the rain... You think hard? Well, you're young, you do that. I think the rain might be clearing. Bing. Right, so we've got 5 miles to go to Maidenhead. Then we go to Slough. Then we try and get on the... Well, wherever the next train is in, which could be one towards Paddington, which would really screw us up if it is. If not, we want the next train going to Reading, which we then have to go all the way to Reading on, and that's done. Then we've got to get the next train coming back this way, and then go past Slough. Or, if there's stations between Maidenhead and Slough we haven't been to. This is going to get confusing. I'm going to have a jelly baby. Snoop Dogg, drop it like it hot. Like it hot, hot, hot. Well, there's a whole thing in it on misheard lyrics. Songs that you think are correct, but they're not. I think the Wayne has stopped. I can see clearly now the rain has stopped. I can see all obstacles in my way. Every time I hear that song now, I think of the Grand Tour. You know I said it wasn't raining? We will put the wipers. That was short-lived. It was in memory of the not raining. Bing! Or at least we actually managed to get to track speed. I just hope from... That's noisy. I just hope from Slough we end up on something that isn't a 166. Because I can't have two streams of just being me and a 166. I like a 166. Bing! Hopefully, by the way, in the next couple of weeks, I will be bringing you a preview of the Lichfield Trent Valley route when that releases. Obviously, we'll do one stream on that route, and then what we'll do is I'll do a series of streams, starting at Euston, we have a problem, and going all the way up to Crewe, and then back through Birmingham, back to Euston, we have a problem. You will streak me. Oh, okay. It is 166s. Same down on the Trowbridge and Melksham, and you will strike me.
We are now approaching Maidenhead.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down.
Lichfield Trent Valley. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to do Milton Keynes to Crewe via Lichfield Trent Valley, and then so the plan is to do obviously the first stream will be we'll just do Milton Keynes to Crewe and up and down the line a couple of times. Then what I want to do is do Euston to Milton Keynes to Lichfield Trent Valley, Lichfield Trent Valley, then route hop to Birmingham Cross City into Birmingham, route hop to Birmingham to Crewe, out to Crewe, route hop back to Lichfield Trent Valley, back to
This is a Great Western
Milton Keynes.
service to London Paddington.
Langley, Ivor, West Drayton, Hayes and Arlington, Southall, Ealing Broadway, and London Paddington. This is a safety announcement. Due to today's wet weather, please take extra care whilst on the station.
And then eventually when we get Crewe to Preston, we'll be able to add that in, and then we got Preston to Carlisle, and then we're going to get Carlisle to Whitehaven, and eventually I should imagine we'll probably get Carlisle to Glasgow. So then we'll be able to do Euston to Milton Keynes, Euston we have a problem, to Milton Keynes, to Crewe, to Preston, to Carlisle, to Glasgow, to Edinburgh. Hey, no, farming's on Sunday, Trent. You're going all the way up to Glasgow. Apparently I need to go on the Glasgow Underground, because being 6'2", apparently I won't fit. Which would be hilarious. Right, Slough. We'll go. I can't now, I'm doing this. Go tomorrow, I'm at work.
Station is Slough. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Go Saturday. I can't. I'll think of a reason. Go Sunday. I can't because I'm farming. Pull a sickie. Jesus Christ. No. With what I've got going on tomorrow. Yeah, apparently the Glasgow Underground trains are tiny. I'm just hearing excuses. I know. I do need to plan my time off. He wants to stay near you. Yeah, sure. That's definitely it, Tiger. I miss you at every part of my body. Do you not miss you? That's just a given, Trent. Hopefully, I don't know if the HSTs stop at Slough. I'm hoping they do. Because if they do, we might be in chance of getting a HST back to Reading. If not, then it'd be another one of these back to Reading, which is fine. Hasn't taken us long. Then we're in with a fighting chance of getting to Paddington. Can we do it? Can we succeed? Stream's coming up, by the way. Tomorrow night, providing we finish this. I was going to do some Subway Sim 2. I'm not sure now. Might do something else. I've got a real hankering to do some Power Wash Sim. But I don't know. Thursday night will be Rest Area Simulator. Friday night is ETS2 doing some trucking and tunes. In Volvo trucks with colour match tanker trailers. Saturday night is bingo, where you can join in if you've got Roblox. And then Sunday lunchtime we're back on the farm doing the farming thing. And then I should know this week whether I'm going to be here next Monday or not, doing a preview stream. We will find out. Well, there's that Adventure Time DLC, isn't there, for Power Wash Sim? But I've never seen Adventure Time. But does that matter? Surprised I remember the schedule. It's not difficult, is it? Next week, not got a clue. Right, we're 2 miles from Slough. I really hope it's not a 166 that's going the other way. Hang on, it might have stopped raining again. Finn the dog and Jake the human. Sorry, are those from Adventure Time? Because that's what the DLC is. A Power Wash Sim is Adventure Time, but I wouldn't know. But does it matter? I'm still not sure on Forza. Don't know. I don't think I'd play it. I'd obviously do the unlocking thing initially to get to all the races. And then I don't think I'd play it because we wouldn't do it in multiplayer.
We are now approaching Slough.
Please mind the gap.
Still not a Reading. No, Slough.
And take care when stepping down from the train.
We're going away from Reading currently. Right, into Slough.
This is Slough. Do not try to board or leave the train when the doors are closing.
Okay.
This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington. The next
Right. Relinquish the service. Okay. So I'm guessing it's going to be... So the 11:55 to Paddington, that's one we were just on. So I'm guessing it's going to be up and over the way, isn't it? Don't forget platform 4.
This is a safety announcement.
Right, platform 4, 11:59
Take extra care
to
whilst-
Oxford.
Surfaces may be slippery.
The 13:12 to Paddington. And there's something over there. So it might be the 11:59 to Oxford then, if that goes somewhere we haven't been. What's here? The 12:06 to Oxford as well. Okay, so it's got to be the 11:59 then.
The next train to arrive at platform 4 will be the 11:59 Great Western Railway service
Well, true. I just want to see where this Oxford one goes. Calling up Maidenhead, we've been there.
Service to Oxford.
Twyford, we've been there. Reading. Okay, that goes to Reading. Right, so that works. So that gets us to Reading. Finally. I will check where we just come from then. 12:15. Right, no, so it's that one then, 11:59. We're finally going to get to Reading. Woo and who? Okay. After 2 days. Yeah.
Please be aware that opportunist thieves operate at this station and across the railway network. Do not become a victim of crime. Please also note that in the interests of safety, cycling, skateboarding and rollerblading are not permitted anywhere on the station.
Who skateboard? Oh, people do skateboard. Do not unicycle on the station. Okay, so this train then gets us to Reading. Then we've got to get something out of Reading. We do need a HST from Paddington to Reading, but don't they stop somewhere? It might be a direct. Knowing our luck, it'd be a bloody 166. because there are 166s that will do a semi, as it were. Pat. We stand out here and wait in the rain.
The next train to arrive at platform 4 will be the 11:59 Great Western Railway service to Oxford.
It is. We finally get to Reading. I see the top of a train. What's it going to be? Oh, look! Oh, a different livery though, in First Great Western.
This is a security announcement, reminding passengers to keep a watchful eye on their luggage, personal belongings at all times. Unattended luggage is unnecessary security alerts.
Well, they're busy. Right, you. Out. Thank you. Yeah, I've put in a branding patch mod to add in the Heathrow Connect as well. Okay, wipers on. Right. So we take this all the way to Reading. Woohoo! Finally, we make it to Reading. We haven't got there yet. How long is it going to take? Maidenhead, Twyford, so 11:59. Reading at 12:22, so 20 minutes to get to Reading. That gives us just under an hour to get to Paddington.
The next station is Maidenhead. This is a Great Western Railway service to Oxford.
You could run a red and have to start over. I never run a red. I'm a professional. Run a red, never. A mod I've got in, by the way, which you may or may not notice it, if you're on PC, I highly recommend checking out the Train Sim community website. UK Track and Ballast Pack, which changes the track and, well, ballast, and makes it look a lot better. It doesn't load in so obviously just in front of you as well. I've also got a mod in that makes the signals brighter. What happens after Reading? We have to get to Paddington. I might still have sound mods in. Professional. Someone buy that man a dictionary. Oh, dictionary. Sorry, I didn't quite read the second part of that word. Now, see, I wasn't going to go there. I wasn't going to be Mr. Grammatical. I did do that to Pat earlier. By using the wrong there. There, and there. You know what I mean, Harry? Barely. Got to start watching The Mandalorian at some point as well. I need to finish flipping The Night Agent. Didn't get a chance to do that over the weekend. I watched some on Friday. I haven't watched any more since. Won't get a chance now till Sunday. You're now on season 2 of Paradise. I'm glad you're carrying on with it. The second part, well, after the end of the first episode of season 2, you're like halfway, most of the first episode of season 2, I was like, what's this got to do with the first one? And then the very last scene in the first episode, you're like, oh, you got Ted as well. The end of the first season wasn't great in Ted. It got a bit weird. But the second season, the Dungeons and Dragons episode of season 2 of Ted is just hilarious. You need to watch more Ted. I said years ago, when there were people in the Discord community that I liked, and I wasn't streaming so often, that's when I was only streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think it was. We'd get together in voice on like a Tuesday night and watch films. We went through all the Marvel films, and we just sit in voice and watch the films together, which I used to do with Larwood on a Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon, watching films and TV shows. It's really good. We did it with Slow Horses, I think, didn't we, last year? Got a few people that hadn't watched Slow Horses. We all jumped in voice and watched the first episode of Slow Horses, which is so good. There are a few first episodes of show. I like the first episode of Paradise, and it's only at the very end of the first episode that you go, oh. Obviously I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it. Alright, we've got 75 coming up. So we're on this all the way to Reading. Yeah, I don't know what I've got coming up. Brilliant Minds is back. Last Week Tonight's back. Clarkson's Farm back in a week's time. Mock the Week is back in a week's time. Silo's back in a month. The Big Bang Theory spin-off, which I'm not sure about, is back in a month. Harry Potter in 6 months' time. I think you'd like Silo, Trent. Last week, next week, yeah, in a week, because it would have been last night, Sunday night.
We are now approaching Maidenhead.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the
Right.
train.
We're now arriving at Maidenhead. So we take this all the way to Reading, and then we've got to try and get to Paddington. Can we do it by the end of the stream? What are you reading? I don't have time to read anything anymore. It's fine. It's fine.
Maidenhead. Do not try to board.
Just don't get out this first door, you'll be alright. It's a bit of a step. Mind the step. And you could end up on the spiky thing. If that was a red light, I'd have been fine. Drop it like it's hot. I am a professional. I keep trying to tell you lot this. I am an professional. You just don't know professionalism when you see it. Oh, I had a discussion with someone at work today about chopping Planty's head off. I've got to take a picture of Planty because he's getting a bit big. Someone suggested putting him on the floor. Why did you put him on the floor rather than on the dining table? See, I'm not putting Planty on the floor. They did laugh and I said, I don't want to decapitate Planty.
This is a Great Western Railway service to Oxford.
That's because you've never seen What's this then? If this isn't the epiphany, if isn't the No, I can't think of the word. If it isn't the peak of professionalism, the one stream was the bus. That was really hard work. Do you realise I could have been, I've talked about this before, I could have ended up being a completely different streamer and YouTuber if I would have taken the paid work that was offered to me to create content for a publisher. I could have actually given up working to do that, and would have only had to put out probably 2 videos a week, and could have given up less than that. Actually, no, less than that. Yeah, but they wanted editing, they wanted scripts, and well, you know. Never would have had you. And there's a downside there, Trent, is there? See what you be doing now, Trent. Or you. Again, downside? Right, 5.8 miles to Twyford. Then we go to Reading. Then we got to get the next train out of Reading. Well, they can only be going east because there isn't anything west of Reading. But then we've got to get off at the first stop we haven't been to. If it's a direct Reading to Paddington, fine. We can no longer go west. No. So we've got to come back past this, down this line again. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know what to do tomorrow. I like Subway Sim too, but I just, it's like, I don't know. Tomorrow might be a see what mood I'm in sort of thing. I've got quite a few. I never had this many games installed. How many games have I got installed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. I've got 22 games installed currently. Parcel delivery sim. Never, ever again. The minute I stopped recording that video, that game was uninstalled. I think by the time I get round to the P in my alphabetical series, it wouldn't be Parcel Delivery Simulator. MSC. MSC? MSC? PCB. I got bored with that really quickly. One of those games that's just quite, I don't know, it's just, there's not a lot to do. I got an email today. House Flipper? Remastered or something? Yeah, House Flipper Remastered. Oh, House Flipper Remastered Collection. I'm under embargo till the 3rd of June. Oops. And my response was, I didn't know it had been remastered. So apparently there's House Flipper Remastered Collection coming out, which I've got a key for. But I can't show it till the 3rd of June. Oh, My Summer Car. No, again, never. You wait till you see my video on my winter car. Is that this week? No, it's not this week. 2 weeks' time. This week's the game I'm actually going to stream next Wednesday. Because I want to do more of it. Car Mechanic. Maybe. I can't wait to stream Church Simulator. Yeah, I think this week is one I'm going to do next Wednesday. The week after is Church Sim, which I'll do the week after that on the Wednesday. The week after that is my winter car, which I won't be doing on the following Wednesday. Right, Twyford. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at House Flipper then. So, Twyford, then Reading, then we got to get a train going eastbound. Eastbound and down.
We are now approaching Twyford.
The order is do, not do, do, not do. Is this my dating profile? I need to press go on that as well. Find some fool. You know the bit I'm worried about, right? It isn't the meeting someone new, chatting to them. I can do that. That's not a problem. The bit I'm worried about. Well, not worried. Worried is the wrong word. Is when you get round to what your hobbies are, and then I mention that. Oh, by the way, I do YouTube and Twitch. If they've heard of Twitch, fine. If they then go, what Twitch? That's it.
Do not try to board
It's over.
the train when the doors are closing. This is a Great Western Railway service to Oxford. The next station is Reading.
Then there's that bit where, you know, if that goes well, fine, you start communicating with each other, and then they watch the stream, but obviously don't chat to see what I get up to, and then I never hear from them again. So it's like, sorry, you do what now for a hobby? Oh yeah, you won't hear from me between 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. I can speak to you between 5 and like 10 to 6, but you can't. I won't speak to you till after 8:30. Well, yeah, it's in my dating profile to a certain degree. Right, we've made it to Twyford. Next stop is Reading. And then we've got an hour to get back to Paddington. To use the word professional. No, I was going to say something then, but I won't. Right, Reading, platform 12, 4.9 miles.
The next station is Reading. This is a Great Western Railway service to Oxford.
Okay. So, do we think there's going to be a HST? No, that was your mind, Tiger. Do you think there's going to be a HST that we then get back, or will it be the fast 166 could work, so long as we have to take it as far as somewhere we haven't been. HST would be the ideal. But then what do we do when we get back to Paddington? I've got an idea. If we get back to Paddington and there's time, we'll go back to Hayes and Harlington, because that's where we started. And that'll finish that, complete the circle. The circle of life. I've still got to ring Oyster and do my credit. It's only been 3 weeks. Refund thing. The circle line. 4. Is it 4 weeks? Blimey. Yeah, I might go into London in... Where am I off? 3 weeks time. 3 weeks Saturday. Right, 3.6 miles to Reading, and then we got to get on the first train going east. So the first one back towards Paddington. And get off it at the first stop that we haven't been to. Can we get to Paddington? It'd be nice if we could, because that'd complete the whole thing. I don't know if we'll get to Paddington and then, unless we get a direct HST that doesn't stop anywhere but Paddington, because that's about 25 minutes. Then we can just jump on any train that stops at Hayes and Harlington and end at Hayes and Harlington. Anything can happen in the next half hour. I do like the audio from this. I'm almost at a point now where you can't go back to Train Sim Classic. Thankfully, there isn't that much new that releases for Train Sim Classic. I think all the developers are realizing that this is where the people are. Right, we got a 40 limit. So doing the braking thing. See, that's a 2 car. We haven't been in a 2 car yet, I don't think. Maybe I could do this again in the future on London Commuter and do the same thing but drive it. I think it's more interesting from doing it as a driving point of view, as a passenger point of view. Toucan. We've just missed a HST. But they're fairly frequent.
We are now approaching Reading.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Right. We now need to find something. I bet it'll be a 166. I see the lights of a 166 sat there. And another one. That's going back the other way. Nobody knows. Right then. I can't remember. Where's the furthest east we've got today? Beyond Taplow, wasn't it? I can't remember.
This is Reading. Do not try to board or leave the train when the doors are closing. This is a Great Western Railway service
Burnham.
to Oxford. The next station is Tilehurst.
So I'm glad you were paying attention. Right, relinquish service. Okay, let's see what we've got then. 13:18 to London Paddington, so not that. Smarter than the average bear. 12:48 to Paddington. The 12:27 to Paddington. On time. Okay, that's 5 minutes. Right, can we better that? Hang on, we can look up here, can't we? Yeah, the 12:27 to Paddington, 12:48. 13:18, 12:22. That's one we just came in on. 13:03, 12:26 to Paddington. Calling at Slough and Paddington. Right, that looks like the winner so far. 12:40, 12:26 British Temple Mead. That's going the wrong way. We can't get that. And you've done Slough, so yeah, direct. That'll be straight to Paddington. Right, so this one then. 12:26. Which is a HST. Going that way. I had to think about that then. Result, we finally get to do a train that isn't a 166. And it's non-stop to Paddington. Well, we'll stop at Slough.
The train at platform 10 is the 12:26. Great Western Railway service to London Paddington, calling at Slough and
Oi, Baldy. Out. Right, unlock you. Shove you into forward. Headlights. Wipers. That's the world's slowest wiper. That's on maximum. Okay. Right, so Slough and Paddington, 13:06, so 40 minutes. That's going to be close. I don't know if we'll get back to Hayes and Harlington then. Because that's a little bit of a way out. Why is these Vipers so slow? Is that on all the... Yeah, on. Wiper speed. There's a nice guy called Max. Right, so Reading done. Paddington will be done. Yeah, only taken 2 streams. I honestly thought we would have done it last night. Alright, lock doors. Stop in Slough. Right, now I need to remember it's a separate lever now. We're not single-handed operation. We got 2 levers to play with. The brakey one and the go one. Right, 17 miles to Slough. Down a little bit, there you go. And then all the way into Paddington. So that's going to be... Yeah, I think we might have just end at Paddington. We won't get back to Hayes. Okay. That's fine. We'd have achieved what we wanted to achieve, getting from Reading to Paddington. Quite an easy task, really, but definitely makes it more of a challenge. quite enjoyed it. I think it only works on routes where you've got a high frequency of trains. This, on the original iteration of Great Western Express, you couldn't have done it because you'd have been waiting for absolutely ages. At least now there's more trains, and we haven't really been, well, we haven't today been east of Hayes and Harlington, so we haven't even driven one of the Heathrow Expresses, or Heathrow Connects, as they were then. So that still runs in some form, doesn't it? I think most people nowadays would probably get the Elizabeth line to Heathrow, or the Tube, depending on where you're coming from. But I think there still are direct trains. I don't know if they actually stop, whether it's a Paddington direct to Heathrow thing. Yeah, Wiper's definitely slow. You can almost see now why the journey time was quicker. It wasn't by much. I think it saved like 6 or 7 minutes when they went from the HSTs to the IETs, and I think that was just due to better braking and better acceleration. I think it's 52 minutes from Swindon to Paddington now, but it does only stop at Didcot and Reading. Whereas before, I'm sure it used to stop at Slough back in the day. I suppose eventually they'll stop at Old Oak Common and then Paddington, because Old Oak Common will be like the big interchange. Eventually, in like 2035, when that ever actually opens, which I'm sure it'll be delayed. It is years away. Watched Jeff's video yesterday on the Doncaster. The Doncaster? Darling, somewhere. New station entrance and new platforms that opened. The Doncaster? I can't remember. I was yesterday. I literally just yank the levers back and just sit there and wait. He's a good workhorse, but yeah, not exactly great on acceleration. We're still 12 miles from Slough, and then we got to get away to Paddington. Slow and heavy. It's a very nice thing to say about me. Bing. Yeah, it's certainly a better route now. He didn't jog up those steps. No. Slow and fat. Again, yeah, that's me. I went to put on a shirt this morning to wear with my shorts, and it wouldn't button up. I put on a t-shirt. I got out of the shower and was like more damp than I was in the shower. So put on a white t-shirt, I had shorts on, trainers. Thought, okay, I'll just wear a white t-shirt. Looked down and I'd sweated through the t-shirt. I was like, really? So I thought, okay, right, I put a shirt, short sleeve shirt on top of the t-shirt. That'll be fine. Got one out of the wardrobe that I was wearing in one of the very few pictures of me that I like, taken by our ex-comrade, and it wouldn't button up. So it's obviously shrunk since it's been in the wardrobe. So that, yeah, I need to do something about my fitness. Yeah, a lot of the clothes in that wardrobe have shrunk. I think there's a problem with the wardrobe. Alright, HST gone the other way. 8 miles from Slough. Well, it's Connor's fault. If Connor hadn't given me that donation money the other week, I then went out and spent on chocolate. I wouldn't have then been sat there last night eating chocolate. So I'm blaming Connor. You spelled that wrong, Trent. There you go. Hey, I thought you had it saved on your Stream Deck. How could you spell it wrong when it's saved on your Stream Deck? Unless you spelled it wrong when you set it up. I still haven't touched the throttle. I've still just left the throttle wide open from when we pulled away from Reading. And I still haven't got to line speed yet. And we're going slightly downhill. I am looking forward to some of the routes we've got coming up for this. Also, we've got the Thames Valley branches routes coming. So 3 routes, I think it is, off of this line. I can't remember what they all were, but there were 3 of them. We've got the Tadami line coming at some point. We've got the extension to the Mildmay line down to Richmond. That's going to make that a bit more interesting, hopefully. We've got Lichfield Trent Valley coming. I think Crewe to Preston coming. So quite a bit in the next few months that we're going to see. So plenty of UK stuff. I think they must have more people developing for the UK than any other area. Alright, 4 miles from Slough. See, that's fast, isn't it? So the 166s that are there on the fast line, they're obviously not stopping, but they're slower than we are. So obviously we can do 125, they can only do 90. So it must be difficult to set the timetabling to make sure you've got separation. Oh crap, hang on, we got a speed limit reduction here. Turn the wipers off as well. Braking. Alright, double yellow. Oh, these brakes aren't good. See, this is where it's good, using the throttle levers that I do to control this. You just move the lever down. It makes such a difference. Okay, I overbrake slightly then. We've got a few minutes to go in. It'll only hold us in Slough if we're early, and no one wants to be held in Slough. Oh, we're GWR at both ends. I thought it might have had one of the special liveried power cars. I have seen them going up and down. Got a video coming out on one of those in a few weeks' time. Up in Scotland. Right, 40 limit. I'm guessing we're switching tracks. Yes, we are over there. That's why the 40. I suppose not everything stops at Slough, so we've come off because we are. Other stuff that isn't stopping would just stay on those fast tracks and go straight through. Like that one there, that I reckon's just left Slough though. That's got the intercity livery.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Right, we are arriving at Slough. It is, and I know that the livery pack was expensive for what it was. You're just getting paint jobs, which most of them were probably in the trains and community site or whatever anyway. But it does make a bit of variety to what you're seeing. I think I did find weird when I did a video in this in Scotland. It was in the GWR livery. Surely they were up there in ScotRail livery, weren't they?
Slough. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington. The next station is London Paddington.
That's because I'm a professional. Look at that stopping, look. See? Professional. You don't doubt me. You don't question my professionalism. And yeah, occasionally, I have to show you how professional I am. Occasionally. You won't say that when I go crashing into the buffers at Paddington in a few minutes, but that's not the point. I mean, it's rare. It's every stream. Every single stream. Oh, that's very rare, Trent. Lock doors. Right, 18 miles to Paddington.
The next station is London Paddington. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Right, 25 minutes to Paddington. Well, it's going to be near on perfect, look. Right, 75. I don't think we've got any risk of speeding there. Yeah, you can definitely see why these were sort of replaced, not only because of the accessibility issues, and I'm guessing they weren't the most economical things in the world. But yeah, the IETs are actually fairly rapid at getting up to speed. I hope someone does a more modern timetable for this. It will be good to see the next iteration of this route. So eventually to get the Elizabeth line stuff on it, out as far as Reading. even if it's just Paddington to Reading, to allow you to do Elizabeth line services. That'd be quite cool. And then you'd have the electric stuff running in, the 387s running in and running out, the IETs then running in and running out. So get rid of the HSTs. You still have some 166s occasionally. But again, that would again give you a reason to do the route again, wouldn't it? Because now we've got the overhead gantries up, so you can almost see that I think at some point we will get a modern Great Western Express. Because they've got the IET license, because it's down on the Riviera line. They've got the 387s. The Elizabeth line, we've got the train pretty much. It's the same as London Overground train. So it's just getting the TfL licensing, which I'm sure they've got, because we're seeing Elizabeth line trains on the Mildmay line in Stratford. So it's just making those drivable from Paddington to here. And again, that adds another layer. It means this route gets busier. Another reason to come back to it. So that would be another good DLC. Modern Great Western Express. I don't know we'll ever get the full Elizabeth line, but then you could split it, I suppose. You could have it, I don't know what the time is from, obviously you'd have Reading to Paddington, and then I don't know what the time is from Paddington out the other side to Shenfield, and the other terminus out that way. I don't know how long that takes, so I've never been all the way out there. But you could then have the core section, although they're not driven through the core, they're computer controlled. But that could be interesting in this, because all the driver does is opens and closes the doors and presses the button to go. So you could do that during that middle section, and it just drives itself, which is easy enough to do, and it's just be, in theory, AI. And then you take over when it gets out of the core section. Same with Thameslink. Thameslink is the only mainline train that isn't manually driven in the UK. So through the core section, through London, they're computer controlled. Spending a lot of time of your life with a train weirdo paid off. Occasionally I listened. Occasionally. Then you wouldn't run any reds. I don't run any reds anyway. Yeah, they do get close. Not as close as the American stuff, which I still think is mad. But I suppose if it's computer controlled, it can get close because it knows where it is. I think eventually, probably not in my lifetime, all trains will be computer controlled. You might have a driver sat there as a backup, but you would just hit the go button. You know, open and close the doors and press go, and the train would control the speed. It would know the next signal. It knows where the next train is. So the driver would be there in case of a hazard or whatever. Well, yeah. Well, the unions complained when trains went down to, didn't have a second person. Used to be a driver and you'd have a driver and a fire person. Unions complained then. We get, trains are just two-person operated, so you still have two people on board. Although you don't, do you? Elizabeth line? They're just are they single person? Because no, I suppose it wouldn't be. In the core section, the guards aren't opening and closing the doors, are they? Or aren't checking on the platform to see if the door is clear. But out of the core section, are they? I haven't really noticed. Are they just at the back? I don't know. Are there 2 people on Elizabeth line? You don't know. Right, anyway, we've got 11 miles to go. Go and find out. I'll get right on that. I can see it happening. I can see eventually they will just be computer controlled. We'll look at the. I know it's a different factor. One of the underground lines is pretty much computer controlled, isn't it? The driver's just there as a backup. Obviously, you've got the thingy, the above ground thingy. The Docklands, yeah, DLR. I was trying to think of what it stood for. Yeah, that's all computer controlled. Although you have someone on each train to make sure people aren't doing things they shouldn't be doing and open and close the doors. They're not driving it. Obviously, they can be driven. So I think that's going to be the way. Because it's only for hazard perception, isn't it? You know, someone steps on the line or something is, something on the line. But well, if you can get LiDAR and stuff in your car that detects something, well, surely a train can have that. You just have something looking down the track, and if there's anything blocking it, it slams on the brakes. So it'll probably have a better reaction time than you would. Oh, there's a Heathrow Connect. So that must be Hayes and Harlington. So we're not going to get back out there. It does seem as though we're going on the whole way on the slow lines. I don't know why. $85, then an 80. Is that why this is a slow? I suppose he stopped at Slough. I suppose, yeah, it'd be the non-stopping services would probably go on the fast. So I bet we'll get overtaken by something. Because wasn't there another one like a minute behind me? That would have overtaken by now. Because I'm not trusted at higher speeds. I'm just not trusted at all. I know how it is. It's fine. There you go. So there's a direct. So if I didn't follow my rule, we'd have waited a few minutes. We'd have actually got there quicker. Because that's probably a non-stop. Reading to Paddington. And on the fasts. That's why we're put on the slow. Do many services stop at Slough now? Or would you just change at Reading? I suppose you'd have to change at Reading and then you get on a stopper. I know none of the ones from Swindon stop at Slough, so I think it is just a case of you want to go to Slough, you get off at Reading. We got a red because I'm guessing that other one's gone in front of us now. Alright, double yellow. It's getting jittery because we haven't been down here. There's 16 stopping there in the next hour. Or Slough. Yeah, imagine it gets a frequent service. Elizabeth Line and Windsor. Yeah, I suppose. So yeah, if you're going to Slough from Paddington, you jump on the Lizzie line, I suppose. From Reading, you jump on the Lizzie line now. I've always wanted to do the Elizabeth line from Reading all the way in. I do like the idea of just getting on that and getting off like Canary Wharf or something without having to change. I know it's slower. By the time you get off at Paddington and faff around changing. Right, we got a green again. Yeah, they're bringing back the Bristol to Oxford directs soon, I think, via Swindon. That was quite handy. Our ex-comrade occasionally would come here via Oxford on a Friday because you could get cheap, like about £2 to go from London to Oxford, and then it wasn't expensive. Occasionally you'd get on the bus, and it's like £2, or it was then, to go by bus from Oxford to Swindon. It took 2 hours, but you could get from like London to here for like £4, which was a bargain. I've never done that bus journey. I was going to once. I was going to go with him on the bus on the Sunday to Oxford, so we got the train home and then turn around and come back again on the bus. But I thought that's 4 hours of my life. But it's a cheap way of doing it, isn't it? A day out in Oxford, you'd spend less on bus fare than you would on parking. And yeah, okay, it's going to take you probably an hour and 20 minutes longer than driving it. But if you're not in a hurry... There's a Heathrow Connect over there. Right, 3 miles out. Why is that over there? Or is that going into the... Must be going into the sidings. Right, 2.6 miles. And then we have completed our mission. Only took 2 streams. Yeah, obviously I'm going slow as well. Mainly because I was waiting for those reds to clear. Obviously it builds a bit of time into the timetable, I should imagine, because in reality I suppose this will be busier, so there's a chance. And the amount of times I've had to stop outside of Paddington, you just think, really? While you're waiting for platforms to clear and stuff. The worst one used to be New Street, getting a train into New Street, trundling through those tunnels, especially like on a Friday night when I just want to get in and then we'll get to the pub. Alright, 1.5 miles. See, normally this is just so busy. That's why I'd like to see a newer timetable in this, because you'd have so much stuff going. You'd never see it this empty. The whole route busier, definitely a lot busier and a lot better, but it should be busier. Obviously, this is where Old Oak Common is, or will be. Yeah, but you'd see something, wouldn't you? Look at the Victoria line. The Victoria line. The London commuter in and out of Victoria. That's so busy. It's getting a bit misty as well. Stop! Or is it just going to hold us out here for ages now? It was a London Underground train whistle. I thought they used those in the depot. Or for shunting. That's a lot of reds. Right, what's where we need to be? Are we waiting on something? We got green into the platform, but there's a train on our platform. Oh, it's moving. That's why. Okay, no, that's fine then. Paddington to Bristol Temple Meads. Oh, I see it's green out. Oh, yeah, it's that way. It's fine. I knew that. We'll wait then. Hence the westbound pointing out. Look, don't start with me. There we go. It shows you with things like that how busy these stations are, isn't it? Literally one train leaves and the next one's straight in. But it does amaze me though at Paddington, the amount of trains that just sit there for ages.
We are now approaching London Paddington.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
I do miss days in London. I did used to really enjoy. London's one of those places that I like visiting. I couldn't live there, but I like visiting. My old man used to say that, even though they grew up there and he lived there into his 955. 47, 50. He was 30 when he moved down here. Couldn't live in a city. Yeah, I like it visiting. I used to like Birmingham. But thankfully, where I spend all my time was on the outskirts. Yeah. Not bad.
The train stopping at Reading, Taunton, Exeter St David's, Newton Abbot, Totnes, Plymouth, Biscot, Bodmin Parkway, Parr, St Austell, Truro, Redruth, Camborne, St Erth, and Penzance. Will passengers intending to travel on this service please join the train now, as it is ready to leave. Platform 3 for the 13:05 Great Western Railway service to Penzance, which is ready to leave. 24-hour CCTV recording is an operation at
All
the
the way to
station
Penzance.
for the purpose of security and safety management.
And just to think, I've done that in a pacer. If you need a wee, they are here. And where there should be a Paddington, there is a donkey. That's Pat. That's a picture of Pat. Imagine what Pat looks like. There it is. There we go. Done. Success. Completed. We can't go that way. Oh, yes, we can. And down here to the tube lines that I always forget. Oh, it's mapped here. Look, and up the thing, and round there to the tube. I do always forget. Well, I'm not used to going down in the one in the middle. Anyway, there we go. We are done. Success. It took 2 streams to get from Reading to Paddington.
24-hour CCTV recording.
That's so loud.
Station for the purpose of security and safety management.
Turn that down a bit. Yes, it took 2 streams to do it, but we did it. I think at some point in the future we're going to have to do another one of these adventures. I really enjoyed that. You've never been to Paddington? How have you never been to What? I think I've done all the mainline stations, in and out of all the mainline stations. Well, I suppose if you've never been west on a train, well, there you go. You got a week off coming up. Go to Reading. Go to Taplow. Where did I start today? Yeah, Taplow. There we go. Anyway, yes, more trains back next. Well, either next Monday or Tuesday. I'm hoping I can show you the Lichfield Trent Valley route if that releases next week. I'll know more about that this week, so I'll confirm that. Next stream, though, tomorrow night. Was going to be some Subway Sim 2. Maybe something else. Don't know what yet, but will be something tomorrow night. Thursday night, though, some multiplayer with Rest Area Simulator. Friday night, we got some trucking and tunes in ETS2. Saturday is bingo, where you can join in Roblox. Sunday lunchtime, we're back on the farm. And then, yeah, maybe back next Monday with more Train Sim World 6, looking at another new route. I'm really looking forward to that one. Hopefully it's good. So there we go. Thanks to Uline Chat then for keeping me company throughout that one. The people did things? People did things. And to these people as well.
This is a security announcement. Reminding passengers.
Thanks to Kerry and McBone for resubscribing, and the moderation team for doing,
Unattended
well,
luggage
nothing.
necessary security
basically. That's a good view, isn't it? It's not quite the same anymore. That is a good view. I do like arriving into Paddington. I don't think it's as dramatic. I like arriving into St Pancras because that's been the Eurostar thing. I used to like arriving into Waterloo because of who I was with. King's Cross. I've been in and out of King's Cross, I think. Yeah, I have. Or when we went to up north. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to sod off now. There we go. Thanks to you lot then. I will be back tomorrow night with something. Until then, if you have been, thanks very much for watching. Which button do I press? Is it that one? No, it's not that one. That one? That one. There we go. Bye.